Welcome back to COFFEETALK, guys. This is episode number 6 this time. Last week was episode number 5. I made a boo-boo when I was doing the introduction. It's all good. So this week I'm joined by another content creator. So Sam over here. Your name is Impeared Visions. Is that right?
Yeah, visually impaired. Yeah,
Visually impaired. My bad. So visually impaired.
Definitely doesn't roll off the tongue like.
No, it's a good name though. It's clever. Like I like the idea.
There's depth behind it. There's reasons for it. It's not out of nowhere.
But, yeah, well, there you go.
I'm sure we'll get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's already a conversation topic. So you reached out to me. We were just chatting a little bit there beforehand. You were saying that this is your first podcast and you wanted to do one by 2020. So that's sick.
Yeah.
So you've ticked that box. You made it in, as you
box
said.
Now next goal is to do a decent podcast.
That's it. Well, let's hope this one does a good job. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll just kind of chat some stuff like. I want to kind of hear a bit of the stuff that you've done, because I was looking at your portfolio on Adobe and you were saying that you've been out of college, so you've finished your degree, and that's actually something I want to speak to you about, because I'm doing a similar degree. I'm doing it in UL, so I'm doing interaction design and creative media, I think is the name of it.
Okay. So I did creative and digital media, so we're quite similar.
Yeah, similar enough. And you did yours in TUD.
I did mine in Tala, Institute of Technology Tala. So I think that's the big university now. They've all linked up into one. So I was the last year of ITT before I went to the new one. I get you. So now they're all branched in. Yeah, that's right. They're all in one. Yeah.
And how did you find that course? Like, if you were to give a completely unbiased view, like you're not promoting college, you're not promoting anything, just yourself.
No. Well, so I basically my leaving cert was a shocker in terms of I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted to do, and I went to Wesley in Ballantyre.
Okay.
So quite a uppity school, and so I didn't have the clear idea of an architect or a doctor or something like that to go into, and I kind of got pushed the same kind of 4 colleges. They kind of push you UCD, DIT, Trinity. Those are your ones you head for, maybe DBS or something. So I wanted to go in originally. I wanted to be on screen talent and do I want to have a chat show and be a personality that was my original thing. I loved doing stage stuff and did all that kind of stuff. And then when I went into college, they were there's nothing like that right now. There's a broadcasting degree in DIT which heavily focuses on radio and audio production, which is less so what I want to get into.
Yeah.
And I was it was 510 or something. And I was there wasn't a
That's
hope.
ridiculous, though.
I lashed it down number 1. I was there's no point. And then I did the classic I just filled in the rest, which is kind of what I was advised to do. I was kind of told you don't want to not go anywhere. So I was okay, but I realistically should have been told it's better to go nowhere than go to somewhere you're not going to want to go to. Do you know? So I put in I got event management in DIT. Which is out of nowhere. I got there the first day, I was what on earth am I doing here? And I was they were talking about do you want to do, so you guys are passionate about putting on corporate events, and everyone there was oh yeah, loving it. And I was what
you were shitting here? Bricks. You were
I've gone into I'm on my way down the river now. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just heading down to it. And I did it for 3 months, went out in the session and did that part of fresher side of it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if I don't bail out now, I got to Christmas and I had a bit of a meltdown one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't the long-term goal for me whatsoever. If I don't bail out now, I'm going to just get stuck at it. I'm going to cause my parents a bomb. And then obviously I got the grant at the start. I got the Susie grant for that course. So if I bailed out of college, I wasn't getting it for the second year.
So
basically what ended up happening was if I didn't get it, if I wanted to go off, we were going to have to pay for it ourselves. And my parents weren't in the best financial state at that time. It was okay, but it was going to hurt. They were thinking we were going to get out of school payments now. I was going into college and we just have to worry about it. So I went and I dropped out of DIT and I found a course, Creative and Digital Media in Tala. And I was I rang up the head of the course, who was this guy Gerald at the time, and I spoke to him and he was come in and meet the team and come in and watch a class or something. He was so inviting, and I said but everyone in my school, no one was going to Tala. Do you know what I mean? They were
I get you. It's
you know what I mean?
It's an unhealthy thing. But I think in society nowadays we do have this it's almost beaten into us. It's this is not a good school, this is like university this,
Yeah.
and sometimes for certain degrees and certain courses I'm sure that
Yeah.
it does help, but across
Yeah.
the long term I think everything's kind of starting to level out now. I
Yeah,
feel like you're
100%.
kind of have to look at the content of the course and what you want to do, and I
Yeah.
think that's where you need to go.
Well, like my roommate is an architect, so there's very definitive ways you have to move to like grow as an architect. So you have levels you have to go to. You have to go to college and
Yeah.
get degrees to move up. So he's like very aware that he's going to do like 6 years of college, still working his way through it now. It's going to be, but he sees the end goal and that's what he wants to do. So he has to do that. I was like, basically, I didn't even know like Tala was a college when I found the course. Where is Tala? And I went out there, and one of my friends was there doing personal training, and he was doing that, which is also a really good course they do there. College is amazing. Can't say enough good things about the college.
Yeah.
For the rap it gets, or not the rap, but like people, it's not one of the top tier schools that people would talk about.
Yeah.
But in terms of like those niche courses, like so I did creative and digital media. I basically went in with a keen eye for media. I liked being on screen, maybe like going into like maybe going to like film and stuff like that. And through that course, they let you do everything. We do like you do audio. I learned how to like shoot audio for film. I learned how to work a camera for the first time.
Oh, deadly.
I like did like lots of script writing. You have to do all that kind of stuff. So at the end, you have experience in everything.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of be like, I'm going to specialize in this. And I found my love for videography through that.
That's amazing, yeah. The course that I'm doing currently, well, I'm also only in my first semester, so I had kind of a similar thing with yourself. Like, I went to UCD last year for a 1-year course. It's called Open Learning. I've talked about it on the podcast before. I think it's a great idea if you're really kind of at a loss as to what to do. It gives you a year to think and ground yourself. And I found my love for photography in that year. Like, and I wasn't doing any photography-based modules, but I just kind of was like, had an urge. I was like, I'm going to start it here. Like, I had never kind of had a camera before. I'd been taking pictures on my phone, but it's like something was in my brain. It was like, it's such
a thing you say to people, and they're like, oh, I want to pick up photography. People are like, oh, Jesus, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I know, that's what people are like with me. Like, and as much as it is, it's like everyone, like, it's, as I always tell people, the best place to start with photography is if you see something and it looks cool. 9 times out of 10 it is cool. Try to take the photo and make it look as cool as possible. And if you're having 100%. A good time doing it, well then you're winning, because that's what art is. Like, art is subjective. So, you know, what you think is cool, someone else might think is cool. That's the beauty of it.
But it's also like no one else is gonna have that perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's like the biggest thing I've taken out. Like what I do now is I spent like I'd say my first 2 years of like videography and trying to build a reputation as videographer, being like, fuck, I'm not as good as half. Am we allowed to curse on this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fire off.
I was like, fuck. So you know, like Ben Keeley, like those kind of creators, like some of those.
I think, has he worked with Rob Lipsett before?
Lippy and all those boys. Yeah. So I remember seeing his stuff, and I was like, this guy is fuck. I was like, how is this bloke like this good at it out of nowhere? I had no idea. So I immediately, everything I did was just paled in comparison to what he was doing. So I was constantly down on myself, being like, I'm never going to be as good as this. They're never going to want to work with me and stuff like that. And it took me probably until I'd say last year to be like, the way I watch other people, the feeling I get of being like, how did they come up with that idea and that perspective? They will people do that for your one. Even when I show my work to like my friends or to my girlfriend or something, they'll be like, wow, that's great. I'm like, geez, I hate that bit.
I know. That's so funny.
But like it's so, but you have to just kind of have to just let that go and like trust your eye. Do you know what I mean? If you think it's cool, it's your piece, it'll come across, you know?
Absolutely. And as you said there, I think one of the worst things is paralysis by analysis. And I think it happens very easily to content creators, whether it be people that are creating art, like such as painting, or people that are taking photos, making videos, writing scripts, anything. Like, if you're personally unhappy with a part, you can often dwell on that thing, and it can cause you, like, I remember when I started making videos, Connor was talking about this last week. He was saying, like, you could start a video and you wouldn't finish it, you just throw it away because it's like, oh, this isn't going anywhere. But it's like, it's that one session that you sit down and you're like, I'm finishing this no matter what, and you finish it, and then you show it to someone and you think it's shit, and that person's like, ooh, And then it starts to think, and then it's the weirdest thing of like a little bit of self-confidence you get. And I think having self-confidence in an industry such as what we're doing is so important, because I feel like you have to be able to back yourself.
No one else is going to do it. You have
Absolutely.
to back yourself, like,
and you don't want to
100%.
stand there and be like, I am deadly, I'm the best you're going to get,
No.
because that's cap.
No.
You don't want to be that person. No one wants to be that person. Like, but at the same time, just having faith in your own work and enjoying it and enjoying the process. Like,
well, so what I'm trying to get into, like music videos and stuff like that now, bigger projects that I'm just running gun projects. And the biggest thing now that I'm figuring out is to get a visual to relay the message to your client or whoever it is. And like, I can have a very clear idea of what I'm trying to do in a project, and I've had to get much better at putting like visual treatments and stuff together for people, because because I can interpret, I'm like, I can see exactly what I'm going to do. They're kind of like, all right, we'll go out, like, can you kind of break down the shots a little? And I'm asking them too much to have total faith in me that I can relay, and I've had to work on that now, and putting like treatments together and having like Zoom meetings like this to really relay the message before we get out there.
Absolutely. That's something that I cannot stress, because I think it's so important to have a basis with your client and a basic relationship where you both, so that client wants something specific and they'll want to speak to you about that thing, and it's about you offering your own style on that idea and working together, because you don't want to conform to what they need, because they're coming to you. And I feel like if they're coming to you, they've seen something that they like as well.
100%.
You have to be able to meet in the middle, and you have to be able to say, I can do it this way, but I'll be able to chop and change it so it gives you this effect that you're looking for. And it's all about like being understanding, and you're working with people. You know, you want to, like, whenever I work with people, like, I want to develop a relationship with that person where I enjoy their company, and I'm like, I want to do the best that I can do for you. You know, like, I shot my first music video. I wanted to do one. I've been wanting to do one for ages, and thankfully this guy called Scared a Cat, he gave me the opportunity there a while ago, and I created a video and a visualizer for him, and it was such a fun process. It was such a hard process. Like, you're talking like 5 hours of back-to-back shooting.
I'm doing it on Friday, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, deadly.
So that's very interesting. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, like
the best thing is script, I think.
Yeah.
Do you script your videos?
Well, it's different. This particular one is different because it's the song is it's a narrative piece, so he doesn't have to perform to camera. Yeah. So there's not any that was like a plus, is because I presume one of the biggest hassles is syncing up vocals and stuff.
Absolutely, and this is one thing I learned, just to cut you off there, that I learned from that on that topic was, we played the song, but we would just play it to catch the vibe. We weren't playing it. But then I look at how they create music videos, and they'll literally blare the speaker,
blasting it,
and he's lip syncing the words. But to do that, I think it has to be so scripted. You have to know, for this scene, we're doing the first 3 lines of the chorus, then we're going here. And that's quite difficult starting off. Like, I did one gun.
I think they perform the whole thing in like 5 locations. That's how I do it. I'd be like, I do a full take in a spot, and then I chop it back and forth, and it looks like you've done it like that, you know?
That's so cool. Yeah, that's so true. That's kind of how I was thinking.
You drive yourself mad being like I presume like for like that Cardi B, like WAP, you know, the WAP video she made?
I actually haven't seen it. I'm going to put my hand to the Lord and say I haven't watched the video.
So like it's like, I listened to a podcast with the director who like put that whole piece together, just because I was so interested in like the how they did so much of the effects. The effects are insane. It blows me away, some of the stuff I see on it, just in general in Hollywood stuff, like the graphic side of it. And he was like, we've been scripting that video for 7 months.
What?
And going through like outfits and going through setups and like how I want to do it. I was like, man, that like, I don't know if I could ever stay so invested in something for
I know
that long.
When it's Cardi B, and you know she's gonna drop that song, and you know there's gonna be serious dollar.
Well, but to do that for an indie film that takes you 2 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so true.
That gets horrible reviews, and then like, I still love it.
That's it. But if you have pride in your own project, well then, happy days. That's
if you believe in it, 100%.
That's it. And actually, I saw some photos on your account that I wanted to ask you about. I saw there was photos of the guy, was it Blue Man?
Blue Man.
And I think I saw a picture of Christian Guzman with him and Max Chillin. Is there any story behind them, or?
Yeah.
That's
So
a bit crazy. Like,
this we're gonna go off on one if we're gonna go, but yeah, this is
might as well. We have time.
So I when I left college, I got I applied for a job in Canada with a company called Blumon, which is a hair product. Hold on, it's like this company. They do like different hair products, stuff like that. And I flew over with my girlfriend to start work there as like I need to start getting into the industry, and they were going to let me like shoot some video and maybe do some social media stuff.
Oh wow,
and
that's deadly.
I flew over and I started there and kind of found out that Blumon was an influencer company essentially. Like Blumon had a huge hair like YouTube channel with like 1.5 million subscribers, and he did like 3 videos a week for the last 3 years, all based on hair.
That is so good. That's such a good op.
It's Alpha Lead for hair, is what basically is what it is. So he did so he basically built like they have this big line of products now, and they have a big team and stuff that I've joined, and I basically became, they had no influencer marketing at the time. So I basically became so I'm now the influencer marketing manager, and I'm digital content manager over in Blumon.
Wow, that's deadly.
Like my like 9 to 5, and then visually impaired is like what I'm trying to progress to full time.
Okay.
I needed something that would pay the bills and let me get better at making videos. I wasn't good enough. I needed to make them. That was literally my biggest job.
Absolutely, that's such a good point there. Doing it, just the art of doing something. I was struggling a lot with that, like trying to make sure that I got like I'd say in the last year I probably made 40 videos maybe, and like every single one is, but it could be anything. It could be a lot. I will come into it, but I do a lot of like haircut videos and stuff like that, like montage videos. That was the one you linked me, and it was good.
Exactly. So making those, that was where it started. But basically, so I took over influencer marketing in Blumon, and basically we had no budget and we had no prospects of what we wanted to work with. We were working with some Instagram guys, and I was like, I basically pitched to them, their audience is me. Like our target audience is 18 to 35-year-old males. So I was like, who would convert me? And I was like, if Christian Guzman had Monarch matte paste by Blumon in his hair, that would blow us up.
You'd want to.
I was like, guys, and so I basically had to go, and I sent Christian product. He was like the second person I sent product to, and I was like, and it's so gas. I sent him this big long. I spent about a week putting an email together about, hi Christian, my name's Sam, with like graphics and like Alpha Lead and all this like prospects and all this kind of stuff. And I sent it to him, and I'm sitting there, and like Stephen was my coworker. He was there. Was like, dude, he's never going to call you. 5 minutes, my phone starts blowing up, and he's, hey Sam, it's Christian Guzman. I was like,
that is crazy.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, so yeah, dude, he's like, send me down the stuff, I'd love to try it. And then we went down, and like he sent it to him, we tried it, and then he came back with like, I'd love to work with you, but obviously there's a fee he has to, I won't say what it was, but he had to charge, and obviously it's fair to his other clients as well. He had to charge something.
That's it. It's business.
And he's a huge influencer. Like obviously
that's
his
crazy.
platform,
Like he's one of the people.
Like
I would put him on my top 5 like people that I want to meet. Like that's insane.
Oh really?
Oh absolutely. I wouldn't say top 5. To be honest, I would. It was the summer shredding that he did last year that I was like, he's the man. I was I watched that series from beginning to end, and I was like hooked. That was the one that Nabil edited everything, and that was another thing that really got me into videography. I was like, this is amazing. It was like showing that struggle from beginning to end, and I was like, this dude. And then I started buying his clothes. He basically sold me on his struggle. So you're gonna freak.
It's not, you're not gonna freak, but it's just funny because this was you were me basically.
Yeah.
And then he tried it out, and he said and I basically convinced our COO to be like, look, I think this will work if we do it. I think it's a huge opportunity for us if he said and we basically, they took a punt on me as like a 6-month intern to put in the most budget they've ever put into a marketing venture into this influencer like integration. Thing worked and went like great, and he did a great job, and the video it was one of his videos that got like 900k, and we were happy with the results. But basically the summer shredding there, we basically continued that relationship. So I've been down to Christian's house maybe like 3 times now. We fly down from Canada, and then so the summer shredding you liked that you watched, we went to that, we sponsored the event, and we were giving out product at that event.
Get out of here, dude. That's ridiculous, man. That's crazy.
That was how, like, so that's how we got Max, and Brandon Harding's a big, it works with us a lot now. pretty much we basically saturated the fitness industry after that. We got a lot of reach outs from people being like because you get Christian, not that Max would come, but Max now, if I reach out to Max knows that Christian's invested in the brand. I've shook his hand down at Summer Shredding. He's met us before.
Yeah.
And he likes the products. So, and our products, like, I'll say this, I wouldn't be able to do half of what I did for the company if the products weren't the best hair products I've ever used.
Yeah.
No, like, bias towards that. Obviously, I'm not, like, investing in the company like that, but the products are amazing. So I know if I can get it into your hands, you won't have used a product like it before.
Yeah.
And it blew up from there. So now we work with like, maybe like 55 influencers that we have on rotation. So like we're still working our way into the fitness industry and trying to like we've sent product to like Logan Paul and those guys trying to get into like the vlog side now.
They're the kind of, I feel like Christian Guzman has that whole fitness industry on lockdown. I feel like that is his, like when I think of fitness YouTubers, obviously that's because he would be the main person I would have watched. I haven't actually watched him as much since he started going into Alpha Land.
It's tough.
But man, that build is crazy. That's insane. Like that dude.
I'll tell you like this. First of all, nicest guy I've ever met.
That makes me so happy because I've seen him and I've often talked to my mates like Aaron Tube. I want to have him on here. We did. There's a whole story about that. Anyways, Aaron Tube, Dean. We always looked at this dude and I was like, he's an amazing role model. Like he's got such a good work ethic. He's so modest.
Crazy work ethic, man.
That's insane. It blows my mind when I'm like, he's like, I got like 3 hours sleep last night, but I gotta go work out and then I've got to go into meetings and I'm like, dude, I got 6 and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like I want to sleep.
But if you talk to him about it, like the Summer Shredding day, that day, so we get there at 5:30 to set up the boots and stuff.
Yeah.
Christian's there, has been there, obviously all on prep. Do you know what I mean? So he's on prep. Like Shawley's there. Shawley's like deep in prep. Like he's deep in the prep. He like his gaunt and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, he goes serious gaunt.
Oh yeah, he's a monster. I'll send you a picture of me. I'm like tall. I'm quite tall.
Yeah.
He just dwarfs you. But he's lovely as well. But he was deep in prep and still taking pictures with everyone. But Christian was deep in prep and did, like, I think like a 16-hour day just going around, like, presenting the show, meeting everyone,
man.
trying to direct Nabil and some. Obviously, Nabil does his own thing and is like.
Yeah. But obviously, Christian
wants the video to be there.
Of
course he does. Of course he does. And then he's got like people being like, Christian, there's the police are outside. There's too many people, and you got to run out and be like, hi guys, what's going on? And so like he has to handle all that and then be nice to every single person that speaks to him and every athlete that's there. So yeah, he was everything I thought he was going to be lived up to 100%.
That's amazing. That's such a cool story. Like that's when I saw those pictures, I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." I was like, "I wanted to ask you about that." That's amazing, though, dude.
But that's that story. Yeah.
Even as you're speaking on that now, like you're selling me on that product. Like you've got.
I'll send you some. I'll send you some.
Hit me with the links up. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
The next episode will be sponsored by Blue Mon.
Yeah.
There we go. Links.
We'll get some money put aside, like.
Yeah, exactly. But that's deadly. Like you got such for the fact that you're solely dedicated into like the media element. Like you've got a really good marketing attitude. Like when you're talking to me, like I don't know anything about marketing, but I know from being a human being that the way you're speaking to me makes me want to buy this product, and I have faith in this product. Like you've got a real good attitude when it comes to selling stuff, which shows in your work.
But this is it's gas because I obviously had no marketing experience going into this job. I went in as a creative, but it's not. I couldn't have marketed. I don't think I'd be any use in marketing a product. One, that I wasn't passionate in, and two, wasn't targeted towards an industry that I'm interested in.
I think that's so important.
So like the fitness one makes total sense to me because every single person I would watch. Like, do you know Constantine? Constantine in the UK, he's like KSI. He does stuff with KSI and stuff. He's a video maker over there. So we sent him product. He's like he blew up on a couple of videos. He was doing like the the trend that went around of people making advertisements in their house during lockdown. The ads and all. He made one of those. Exactly. Daniel Schiffer's a freak. Don't get me
That
started.
dude is crazy.
I don't want to talk about that because that's what I talk about.
That's when
goals.
everything goes down to here, and the Daniel's up here, and yeah.
I watch his videos of like how to like when he puts shoot together. And I go, I don't do any of this stuff.
And he's
all
like
the stuff he does.
dangling things
and
in
he's
midair,
and he's like flawlessly just doing these loops.
It's like, this is a real
go.
simple shot. He's like, so we're just gonna get this one quick, and it's like fucking all over the place.
He made a video for a pizza place. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I'll never be able to do anything of that level.
I actually did a pizza shoot there on the weekend, and I took so much inspiration from him. I tried to do so many things he did.
The rolling thing and all.
That's where I was like trying to follow it out. I find him.
Just rip it off.
Yeah,
rip the video off totally.
It's the exact
just
same thing.
Send them Daniel Schiffer's video.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need you guys to wear these clothes, and I'm gonna need you to get a similar setup to this. But yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm also gonna need a lot more gear.
I need a budget, boys. Let's go. Give me the money.
Need a big one.
That's a problem, though. I think with media creating now is like stuff is expensive.
In Dublin, yeah. In Ireland, it's tough.
Man, it's crazy. Like a lot. Like this gear is expensive.
You've probably been growing yours similarly. Like I've been growing a collection now for like 6 years, and I'm only at the level now where I'd be like, I could pretty much fill whatever someone asked me to do.
See, I'm far from that. Very far, and that kind of gives me a bit of a
I might be over speaking. Well, like I
have no lights. I have no lights.
Okay, lights are easy. I've got two panel lights here, like newer ones.
Yeah.
And I got them for Christmas off my dad for they were like 100 euro for two.
Oh, that's pretty
good. And they're portable, standable, like adjustable lights. I love them, and they're solid. So lighting,
that's not a bad shout, because that's kind of what I feel like I'm lacking sometimes.
It makes such a difference as well.
It's hard to get that perfect lighting, and it's kind of you lose a bit of that creative control because. And as well, another thing I want to get is I've been looking at LCD screens for the top of your.
I have
your
one,
camera. Yeah, I need, because I shoot if I'm doing a video for a client in manual, I'll do it in manual. Yeah, one of those bad boys. So handy. Because I want to start shooting. Well, I do. I shoot everything in manual, and it's so hard to know if I'm nailing focus sometimes. I'm on a Canon 250D, so it's a small enough camera, and it's a flip screen, which is great, but still it's small, and it's I can't tell, and then I get the shots back, and I'm like, oh.
Well, it gets even tougher on a Sony, the Sony because the.
Is that what you're using?
I work off two. I have a Sony A7S Mark II, and then I have a Panasonic G4.
Oh, cool.
So they're both great for different things, but the GH4 does 4K, and it's slow mo. It's outrageous. That was the first camera I ever got.
Oh,
some absolute gent was putting it up on Dundee. This unbelievable set of two lenses, the camera, a strap and everything. It was up for 700 euro cash, and I was like, okay, that's that's tough, but that will make I'll make that if I do 3 videos. Hopefully, I'll make that money back. It's an investment into myself. So I took it out and I bought it. And your man was he went to ITT. In the end of the day, he went to my college, so we started talking about that.
Cool.
And he was like, look, I'll take 600. Best of luck. I got an upgrade, so best of luck on your journey, kind of thing. I was like, Jesus, so sad. Still have it now. Love it to bits. It's an unbelievable camera.
Yeah.
But I got lucky that way. But I don't think you need 2.
No,
I don't think so. Are you looking to upgrade a little bit?
Oh, I would love to, but I was only talking to Connor about this. It's he has a Sony.
He just went up.
Yeah. And I'm like, he was telling me about it, and I was like, God Lord, that's my dream. That's currently when I started taking photos, that I was like, I want that A7 III. I was like, that's the one I want.
So you'd go to Sony.
Oh, well, in a heartbeat, because I think that personally speaking, now I've held one once, and I fell in love with it. I was like the feeling, the weight of it, and the technology in it, how smooth everything is. That to me was an instant sell.
You're gonna be a freak when you get onto a camera like that. Considering what you shoot on now, not that your camera's it's all I don't think you need to have a massive piece of tech to do thing. But the things the options you'll have more so to do and be able to try new things that will be in it. So it's coming. But I'd be testament to get get your standard to where you want it to be, build like your level, and then upgrade as you go if you get a chance.
Absolutely, and
Like,
that's how I kind of want to look at it myself, because I'm like, I don't want to get that camera if I don't fit. Like, I want to be ready to get that camera in my brain. I want to know in my brain that I'm a Sony person. I don't want to be doing this.
Connor's going to do some dirty things with that camera. I'm not even ready, man.
That is crazy. So continue.
I was going to say he does. So like my long-term like goal for videography, or like what I'd love to do long-term, is like, do you watch a lot of you don't watch like Last Chance U or any of those sports docs?
No, I actually haven't. No.
Okay, so cinematic sports documentaries that like a couple of different companies are making now, I think are unbelievable. Like, so Connor does I'd love to get into like the MMA side of that, and like the UFC embeddeds and stuff like that. That's like my dream job to shoot, to
do like the behind the scenes almost, and like with the athletes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge MMA fan. I've been a huge MMA fan for about 3 years now.
Oh, deadly.
Ever since I went to Canada, it kind of enhanced because I was on the right time zone to actually watch the events.
I hear so much of people going to Canada, and I've heard a lot of people going there and living out there. Like, I'd love to. My dad's actually originally from Canada, so I do have family out there, but I'd love to go.
It'd be handy for you to get a visa if there's family there.
Absolutely, yeah. And
go, man. There's a 2-year you can go, and like it gets approved in about a month.
That would be so sweet. But the thing is, you know how you kind of went from the end of college and you kind of had that placement you were going into? That's my fear. It's like, I'm in my first year of college now. Like, I started photography, videography in September of 2019. So I've been doing it for just over a year now.
Better than me, like.
Nah, don't be silly, man. I just show more stuff. It's Instagram. Me and Connor were talking about this last week, and Instagram is such a inaccurate measurement of success. Like, you sent me your profile and you're like, man, I've got, and I'm like, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like,
the followers thing, I don't give a shit. I
admire that in you. I think it's so important, because you're working with Christian Guzman, and I'm not working with Christian Guzman, but it's like that. And you could say, oh, well, you have more followers than me, but it's like, what does that mean at the end of the day? That my ego's bigger. It's like,
well, like I've worked with them through Bloomon, which was great.
Of course.
That was great. But like, I got to shoot, like, they got to see me make video and stuff like that, which was great, and I got to meet them all. But I wasn't. I was very cautious about trying to push myself into that. Like, trying to be like, oh, I also make videos, guys, by the way, if you want, and be that guy. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be the guy who works for Bloomon. I was really happy with the work I was doing with Bloomon at the time as well. We were like obviously flying down to do summer shredding and stuff. So I just went down just to learn. But then, like, obviously met Nabil and was like, this is so mad.
Connor, if Connor listens to this, he's gonna be crying. He was just talking about how Nabil, he's like that dude. It's like, that's where he gets his influence for his style. It's one of the first people me and Connor talked about, being like, even me and some of my mates from around here, we'd often say like, he's a sicko.
Well, he did. He got basically. I didn't go mad when I met Christian. I remember when I met Christian and Max and all these lads I watched on film, and be like, Jesus Christ, that's Christian Guzman. Didn't have it with anyone. Nabil walks by in his red Vans, and a red black shirt, and a Canon 1DX, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I was like, that's Nabil. And like, Joe, who's Bloomon, was beside me, and I was like, what? I was like, it's Christian's videographer, and I was like, okay, like Christian's behind him, and Joe's like, Christian, what's going on, man? And I was like, Nabil, I'm so sorry, this is real weird. I'm gonna just let me get this out. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I love what you've done. You've inspired me to like the work I'm gonna do. And like, I think you're amazing. Like, you're a huge inspiration to so many people. And he was like, thanks, man. And then after, I was like, Jesus, what did I just do to unload myself onto this guy? and he like ran off, and I walked back, and I was like,
ran away, like.
And everyone else, like Brandon Harding was on, like, sup, bro, like, good to see you.
Playing it cool with shoulder taps and.
Yeah, and Nabil's like quite like he's quite shorter than me.
Yeah.
Like, I was quite tall, and I was heavy. I was fat in Canada as well.
Oh, really?
And don't get started on that. And then I went too quick at him, and I felt like I cornered him a little, and I was like, and I'm like sweating. Texas is hot. So that was it. But he was working. He just like running around the place. Like, if you sat up on the top, like the top area of seating, you could see him running around the bottom bit just shooting. But his Canon 1DX stuff, I was like, the one thing he said is like the color science in the Canons.
Yeah.
You get like, you know, the way his colors are so intense in Christian's videos.
They're so vibrant and crisp.
Yeah, but perfect. Not his tones.
Not oversaturated.
Skin tones aren't going like magenta and stuff. He gets some like, but then these
Perfect.
like crisp white lines. I was like, how on earth?
Yeah,
And he was like, obviously he's a freak and he's obviously really talented. But then he's like the color science in the Canons are amazing. And he was like there's obviously benefits to like being able to do log and stuff in Sony's.
Yeah.
But ever since that, I was like, I know the Canon's autofocus is great, and I was like, and I was like the color science sounds good, but they're so expensive, man. I just don't have. I'm not at a place where I can make like a real like.
I think Sony's are like a good middle point. I think
100%.
they're very expensive, but I think for what you're getting, that's why I think I've swayed towards Sony, because I feel like they're much. This is what me and Connor were saying as well last week, is that they're much more like they interact with the community a bit more. Canon's like the iPhone of cameras, and
very good.
And
that's good
Sony's like the Samsung. Sony is like more innovative and trying new things, whereas Canon have it down. Every time they release a new product, it's the bee's knees. You can't fault it, like, and that's why everyone goes to Canon first, and then people are like, oh, I'm kind of bored of Canon. It's like people get bored of iPhones, like I might try the new features.
It's not getting bored. What do you mean? Getting bored? I'm gonna go buy a new Canon for 10 grand. It's like saying I get bored of my Mercedes and I'm getting a new car.
I'm bored of the Lambo.
We're there shooting on like we have like an iPhone on like a joystick, like a GoPro here, and they're like, I'm getting bored. I get the Canon.
That's
like,
gas,
I was like, that's
so true. That's so true.
People say that about me now, because I have like the Sony camera I have was Joe's old one.
Okay, cool.
Upgraded. So like that, but that's how I'd much rather do it that way. I've never shelled out like been like it's too hard. It's too hard to come across money.
It's scary.
Yeah, man.
It's 100%. A big investment. Like I think a lot of people realize how expensive cameras are, but at the same time, it's like it's hard to put that down payment down, because you're backing yourself, and it's like I'm in complete support of anyone who wants to get a camera. I always like, if anyone's ever texted me about it, I'm always like, get one, absolutely, because even if you don't have intentions to make a business out of it, and it's like, although that's like a main goal of my own, is to be sustainable from this, like I love it. Like I love making videos, I love taking photos, I love creating content, and I think that's what it all boils down to. Like these podcasts, I enjoy this as much as going to shoot a video for someone or shoot a video for myself. It's like I get genuine enjoyment out of meeting new people. Like I never would have met or probably ever spoke to you otherwise if this wasn't here, which is sick. Exactly. And we're in a pandemic, you know. And that's the benefits of this, and that's why I wanted to start this. It was like I wanted a place where I could just go, I could just talk absolute shit for like an hour if I wanted to, and post it and not feel like, oh shit, is someone gonna tell me that I did that wrong? And then it's like to be able to push that and meet people like yourself or Connor or any of the lads that want to come on. It's sick. Like that's why when you reached out to me and said about coming on, I was like delighted. I was like, absolutely. Let's get it rolling.
I didn't want to be like, I like loads of people. It's mad because there's two things I thought in that. Like you probably make a lot of work for clients. So when you finally got to make something that's for yourself, and you're like, I don't have to edit this at all. Like I had to make a vlog. We're doing a thing on Bloomon for like we're doing like lots of different like vlog things on our little story series, and one of the guys we want to do with pulled out. So we needed to make one quickly, and I made one up just for in a day. And I made it, and I got far too carried away. Like used like some drone shots, got like far too into it. And then I was like, at the end of it, I was like,
that's the creator coming out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like this, and then I finished it, and I was like, geez, okay, I have to go. I was like, actually, no, it's done. I was like, usually I like I'll render it off, and I'll be like, okay, better send it off for a thing. I was like, actually, no, it's done. It's exactly the way I'd like it to be.
And
that's very ready. But that's why you're like,
isn't that fun though?
Yeah.
It's invigorating, like.
Yeah, man. 100. And then if people like it, if people like it, and they're like, man, what the exact thing you do, just doing like what you think is cool, I really like.
And that's when you sell your style. That's when that's for you making your business. That's when you sell your style, because you're creating content. That's what I was saying to Connor last week. I'd love to see. When Connor put out a video there where he was doing like a practice kind of commercial lifestyle video. But I don't think it was brand, or I think he just did it, and it was amazing. And like I love seeing him when he does his own stuff, or I love seeing any of the lads. Like Aaron Chu, he's one of my mates from here, and he has a business. So he runs a business with his mate Josh, my mate Josh, and basically it's called Thrive. But sometimes I love to see
they just
Aaron.
followed me on Instagram.
I'm serious. That's funny.
Thank you.
That's probably because I shared
Fine
you.
up.
There you go.
That's
Shares for the
198,
boys.
boys. 198. Let's go.
That's 198k if anyone's asking.
It's unlikely. Unlikely.
It's all good.
Imagine.
Means nothing. Yeah, fuck it.
No,
What do you need
I
it for?
couldn't handle that, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle
I think you'd
that
switch
many people
off.
being invested in what I do.
Imagine
Do
being
you know what I mean?
Kanye. Imagine being Kanye West. Dude's
But
running
I think
for president.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into that. Jesus
No,
Christ.
let's not.
Because
not.
it's too deep, man.
Let's stay away from the whole
day.
presidential thing, because
But
that's
he
not a
did,
good topic right now.
Did you watch Connor's his Kiefer video he did for Kiefer Crosby, the MMA fighter?
I watched. I think I'm gonna say I watched it, but I think he released a Joven one with him afterwards, and I kind of get mixed up because they were both sports ones. But I know one.
I like, so I reached out. I've reached out to like most MMA fighters in Dublin, being like, bro, loved to make your video. I was like, and like no one got back to you. I was like, standard. And then
that's the worst.
I just see Connor's Creations pops up for my highlights, and it's just like he's doing like these flawless videos of Kiefer, and I was like, oh,
it was amazing.
I was like, how on earth have you pulled that out to get in there? Because that's like goals, but it's so good because now Connor doing that and making that is going to make other fighters go, Jesus, I better get some content made.
It's so
you know
true.
What I mean?
Like like single-handedly, he's kind of carved that little pathway into that industry.
I'm hopping on Connor's coattails and riding.
Jump on it. But that's me and Connor were speaking about this again last week. We were saying like it's so important. Like we've a small community of creators in Ireland, and I feel like they're not very interconnected. Like there's such a potential for us
we need a creator house.
We do, yeah. Like TikTok, like
videographer's house.
Yeah. Imagine all the B-roll.
Everyone just sitting there coding,
smashing their computers because Premiere keeps crashing.
One piece of content a month.
Yeah, probably.
The most dramatic piece.
17 scenes of B-roll of coffee and food.
Interlaced with like 5 different styles.
That's what I really want to get into though. I really want to get, like, I keep trying to hit up coffee shops and I love coffee and I love coffee B-roll. I really want to try.
Matt Davila, is that his name?
Yeah, the minimalist dude.
Yeah. His B-roll of his coffee stuff. Well, Peter McKinnon, any of those guys do unbelievable B-roll.
I got a lot of my first video I did it just for a mate that I know from school, and that was my first video, Cafe Pico, and that was like my first ever attempt at videography, and it was of coffee, and I loved it, and I've never got to do one since. So I like reach out to it. Yeah, it is. It's my first on my IGTVs. Yeah, people see the progress. Yeah,
check those flames, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Check the gram, fam. Yeah, that's fire. But I've done that. I haven't done much work for clients, to be honest. I've done a lot of my own stuff, and I've done a few
so interesting,
works.
like.
Yeah.
But like I only started, like, I would recommend if we're gonna like finish up on, if you want to finish up on this kind of stuff, like if I could recommend anything, and like you're like, I take my advice or don't. But having a job for me, having a job that let me create content consistently and gives me a paycheck each month that I can count on, meant that like I was honing my skills and growing my portfolio of work while I'm getting better at my skill, while getting paid to do that and like learning a new industry and stuff like that. So I know that's hard to come by, and people like that's like a dream job to get into, but so many companies need content now. Yeah. And like I think now we're kind of almost in the gold rush for our industry, in terms of people are starting to recognize how valuable good consistent content is, and how like that can,
and it makes an impact. It makes an impact, and it's trying to what I often find is struggle, especially around where I live, is to try and let people know how much of a difference that makes. See, a lot of businesses around where I am are quite local, and they don't have intentions to branch out. Yeah, you know, but a lot of the time,
where are you based?
I'm in Wicklow, or Rathdrum is a town in Wicklow.
Oh right,
so
it's beautiful.
It's small place. Oh yeah, I can't say enough about the scenery.
In the snow,
my! I love this place. Like I do. I love it. Like Glendalough. I
have a friend in Roundwood.
Oh no way! Would I know him? Or she?
Kai Jemison, the Jemisons, would you know them?
No, I don't know.
No, they're up and around with the highest village in Ireland, so we go out there sometimes.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
And like it's beautiful. I like, obviously it's tough, like now you're locked in Wicklow, like, but I'd rather be locked out where you are than in like Dublin. Do you know what I mean?
Agree.
So many
I'm so blessed.
Yeah, man.
I'm
and
so
you're not finding that, like, you're still like, a lot of people now have taken taking a punt during like just before COVID started and opening their own stuff, and now they
Unlucky.
can't work. Yeah,
Touch
man.
wood.
I'm still like Blue Mon's still working
Still
as
thriving and everything.
the same. Well, thriving's an aggressive word, but like we're like I don't think anyone's thriving apart from Amazon or face mask
I
companies
agree.
right now.
Yeah, thriving that's true. Yeah.
But I was saying we had a meeting yesterday where we went over like the goals we'd set for like we go over goals each month, and it's so easy to get quite down on like the mood in the when you're not hitting obviously COVID effects sales stuff like that. But when you retrospectively when we sat back and looked at it, I was like, the fact that we haven't laid anyone off, have continued to still make revenue, and like we're still progressing. Obviously, we couldn't launch any products and stuff like that, and Black Friday is coming up, and we need that to be a big
sale
month for
day.
us. We've made like influencer wise, and like the people we work with now, we've built like a roster of influencers now that like range from 300k or like even like 20k. The value in micro influencers now is insane.
Yeah.
And like that's based on like code usage and like actual converting to sales.
Really?
There's such 100%.
So when you say code usage, what does that mean? Is that like you putting everything in statistically and breaking it down through code?
No, sorry. So I mean for influencers, when influencers have like a discount code.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We track their success through like their code usage and how many sales they do.
Yeah.
And we have guys who have like do you know Louis Armstrong? Do you know who that is? He's a UK
mates
Louis,
with Rob Lipset. That's how I know him.
Works with Blue Mon quite heavily. I know him through Mike Thurston.
Okay, yeah.
He worked with
him. That dude is ridiculously big.
So handsome, goddamn. Anyway, we started working with him at Blue Mon. He used our stuff already and he does like this curtain hair. He's great hair and knows a lot about hair.
Yeah.
And we started working with him, and he's so valuable to us in terms of the content he makes. He has very like strong understanding about products, and he really enjoys making it. So the value in a micro influencer now, and like there's so many more opportunities for smaller creators to make a living off this now.
Yeah, that's the goal, I think.
But that's the hardest thing. Like I don't know if I'd be ready to try and like my dad's in marketing quite heavily, but he's in lead generation. Yeah, well, no, I don't have that. Like my brother has that in terms of like very sales and lead generation, and like heavy on that.
I think subconsciously you have it though. I think your desire is in creation, but as a byproduct, when you're passionate about something, you can sell it very well.
Yeah, but I'd be passionate. I was more excited when Christian put the integration of Blue Mon.
Yeah, fair.
Not because maybe I'm going to get a raise now. I was like, I cannot believe Christian Guzman is using the products for the company that I work for, and I facilitated that.
Yeah, and you'll have the potential to work through.
I was like, and then like I was always a bit of a like, I was always a bit of a wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, and like in school I was a bit of a messer, and like I was like, Jesus, how are we going to convert this to like a job down the line, and like what I was going to do long term. And like that kind of moment after the summer shredding where we went down and sponsored it. Yeah. I was like, after that, like lay back exhausted after like 3 days, and had a bit of a moment there where I was like, okay, like that's something we can go back, and like people at home were messaging me and being like, geez, just saw you on like Christian's story or Heidi's story, and we went out for drinks with Christian and Heidi, all went to his house.
Wow,
I was like, this is mad. I was like, what am I doing here? And I just had to I just drank that moment in, and I was like, okay, great. If nothing else happens from Blue Mon, I've had this experience that's unbelievable. Now we've just continued to grow, and we want to do some stuff next year.
That's a great way to look on it. That's a great way to look on it.
But it's never been. I wouldn't be financially driven. Like to my ailment a lot in terms of like I'd shoot something I have done. I shoot a lot of stuff that I see creative value in, and something that I'll be able to show to people. But I'm very tough at putting a number on that.
I hate it.
And yeah, it's really hard. I need to get better at it. I'm bad at it.
I am too, and like I've done a few shoots, and I've also kind of been like, I'd like to work with you, and kind of put myself out there, but I'm not. And sometimes like it's, as you say, to my ailment, I don't want money. Like I really don't. Money's great and I need it, but I don't want it, and that's my problem. I'm like, I don't want to charge these people, because I see a small startup and I'm like, I want to help you guys. I want to benefit, and I want you to benefit. I don't want you to break your pocket paying me. Like some money that videographers charge is crazy.
I've gotten a lot of I end up doing a lot of first video free situations.
I'm like, I wouldn't get into that. That's scary.
No, I went down that road and basically got like 3 or 4. I tried to work with like a lot of fitness guys in Dublin and stuff like that. Got a lot of like, you're all right, but no, you know what I mean? And you'd be like, okay, so you end up making this, and you have this the value of having work though is, and having a portfolio of works. The first thing anyone's going to ask you is like,
Absolutely.
right, send me a video, and
Yeah.
you're going to go, well, actually, I haven't quite made my own one yet, but I know how to do it. And they go,
Yeah.
oh, I see you later.
Yeah, facts.
So I think there's a trade-off. You have to get your levels to a place where you are justified in charging that amount to someone, and you know you're going to bring that value to them. But like on the same boat, people will take advantage of you if you don't have the confidence. Like my dad always said, have a daily rate, have a rate for an hourly rate for shooting, an hourly rate for editing, and that's kind of
That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to be more strict, and I watched a video by Chris Howe. I don't know, have you ever watched him?
No.
Okay, he's a YouTuber.
Oh, he did the video about what you should charge as a videographer.
Yeah.
I watched it with his girl, with his wife. Was it?
Yeah.
I watched.
I'm pretty sure. And he kind of
Yeah.
did like how to break it all down and being realistic about it, and that I've kind of started to take that on board. And like, I'm fortunate as well that a lot of the people that I've worked with have been generous and have been good to me, like, and they look after me. But at the same time, it's like I'm not money driven, but it's like that hard middle ground of it's like I want to be sustainable, so I have to be. And it's like, I don't want to go out and do videos for people and be like, oh yeah, I'll do it for free, as much as I would love to, but that's not how business works, unfortunately.
Right now, unfortunately.
When I'm driving my Bugatti to your venue, then I'll start doing them for you for free.
Right
but
now,
until then,
I'm on the bus and I'm 15 minutes away.
Facts.
Yeah, man. But like I would say the value right now in people like us are people like self-directed, self-shoot, edit yourself, do the whole prospect, and they just go, there's some guy coming today and he's going to make a video for us.
And he's got a cover.
You don't have grips. You don't have guys like that working under you that you need to pay. Right now, you're totally free. Anything you make is your money.
That's true.
I'm in the situation now where like if anything I make from visually impaired, I can invest back into the company. Like obviously it's not anything like sustainable yet, but I'm at a level now that if something did kick off and I did get an opportunity, like I'm ready to take that chance. So I do think there's, what's the saying where like luck is where opportunity meets preparation or something like that.
Okay,
and I think that I think I'm putting in the work behind the scenes now, that when that opportunity comes, I'm at my best possible like standard to be able to do the best job. So I think timing is everything. I think opportunities come in weird ways.
Absolutely.
But you're like leaps and bounds ahead of where I was based on where you are now.
Thanks,
and
sir.
like you're already making your own content. And
thank you, sir.
I guess the next thing now is like trying to. I still say take as many opportunities as you can, but you're at a level like certainly to be charging people. And would do like. Do you know what I mean? It's not that you shouldn't feel bad, because you'll do as good work as like I've seen like media companies in like Ireland, like production companies that bring out like camera and they'll stick it on a tripod there and they'll like lash in the auto and they'll film it.
And but those people get paid big bucks.
Man, they get paid like I watched a Leinster. Obviously I love Leinster and all that kind of stuff. But they made a documentary, behind the scenes documentary of Leinster. And it was shot. I was like, you have the opportunity. You have like guys like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You got like Johnny Sexton. You've got like Robbie Henshaw. You've got like all these unbelievable players with all these stories that you could be doing behind the scenes, how Johnny lives like behind the scenes, like what his day looks like, how much rehab does he have to do from all his
people want to
injuries,
see.
Exactly. And it's nothing. You could pay me, I'd work 15-hour days. I'd be there when they got there and I'd leave when they're done, and I would follow a different player every day, and you'd have 15-episode series behind the scenes with a bench player. And then
they don't see that. It's almost like it's like, unfortunately, I think just currently, and I think in our current climate, everything's a bit weird, but it's almost like, and I don't even want to be saying that in like a woe is me sort of a way, but it's almost like a lot of Irish creators aren't really considered like professional enough to work with these big leagues, because they don't have a suit and a tie, and a lot of them are young. A lot of us are young, like. I don't change battery pack. Lovely. It's okay. We'll finish it up here. So what time are we at? We're at, I can't see it here, but
two bells.
So annoying. I've still got audio here anyway, so we're chilling. But my battery just keeps dying random. That was fully charged.
So you'll still have the audio though.
I still have audio. From
wrap it up, man.
Yeah. No sweat. Well, I've got all the audio there, but that was deadly, dude. I'd love to do this again. I'd love to.
There's so like I'd love to get into.
There's so many little rabbit holes we can go down. You've so many stories there. It's amazing.
I'd say give. Obviously, get this one out whenever you do. And if people are at all interested in more of them, I'm happy to do it. Like I'm working from home full time now, and like we can't shoot pretty
That's
much,
it.
unless we're doing like out in town. So I'm definitely going to do another one. It was great, man. It was
Happy
great to
days.
meet you.
Thank you, sir. Likewise, great to meet you. Great
No
to
worries.
hear about
I'll send you.
So,
What I do, I'll email you the video
yeah,
clips.
sure.
Then,
Cut it there. Email it over to me. I'll link you a Google Drive folder and drop it all there.
Yeah.
So thank you guys
Right,
for
buddy.
watching. Big ups. Go follow my man here, Sam, and
Yes, please.
go get him up past, what is it, 129k. Bump him up.
198 loyal followers,
That's
baby.
the one. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
go hit him up. Go hit him a follow. Deadly dude. Great stories
Please
as
do.
well, man. Appreciate the
Yeah,
talk.
there's more there. I know I blabbed on there. Apologize.
Not at all, dude. Not at all.
I'd love to get into your side of it, and like I'm fascinated by like
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to have
different
you on.
people's stories.
I wanted
Man,
to hear
a
about you.
three. Is there a three-way one with Connor on the cards?
Oh, could be. Who knows? Who
I'd be
knows?
so
That would
interested
be
to see,
sick.
like have a chat with them. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.